A lot of people like to talk about how Teen Titans Go likes teaching its audience about concepts like taxes and housing, but I've never seen anybody talk about the time Clarence literally broke down the concept of capitalism to an audience of 8-year-olds that wouldn't grasp it until years later. So that's what I'm gonna do. The episode is titled Clarence's Millions, and it follows Clarence deciding to make his own currency, known as Clarence Dollars, to give out to people around his school to make them feel better. But before we get to that point, the episode sets up an already established system within the school, known as Buddy Stars.
Clarence and Sumo, you know I'm gonna have to take away a Buddy Star for that.
Buddy Stars are a merit-based system where if you do something good, you get a star, and if you mess up, you get one taken away from you. Now, if you know anything about the show, it'd be no surprise to you that Jeff has the most Buddy Stars. Sumo is really indifferent to them, seeing as how he's in more debt than the average college student, and Clarence views the system from his unique moral lens. When he sees how negatively people can react to the star system and how much stress it brings them, it prompts him to question why they're even so important if they're gonna make everyone feel like crap.
What do Buddy Stars even mean? They're not my buddies. They just make everybody sad. Everybody except for Jeff. I wish everybody could just have as many as Jeff, then everyone would be happy. I should just make up my own rewards and give those out to everybody.
The importance of the system is highly exaggerated for cartoonish purposes here. These kids is talking about if they have enough Buddy Stars to go to college, if that ain't the realest shit. This works because it positions the audience to be more on Clarence's side when he ends up taking matters into his own hands with Clarence Dollars. Now this is where it gets interesting, and I have to drop some terminology on your head. Because Clarence essentially begins the process of introducing capitalism into his school by making Clarence Dollars the main motivation for his classmates to even go to school and socialize. Money becomes what everyone talks about and desires, not too dissimilar to how it is in real life. Over the course of the episode, we see how society slowly crumbles under this new system and becomes destructive. But Clarence's intention was to never cause harm. He wanted to make people feel better by getting rid of the Buddy Star system and giving everyone an equal chance to feel good. But before I can analyze how Clarence's system positively affects his school, I gotta roast someone.
It means it doesn't matter. We've got a perfectly fine system. You know, maybe if you were more respectful and stopped eating gum off the bottom of desks, you'd have some Buddy Stars up there.
Jeff in this episode is the straight man. He fully believes in the Buddy Star system and defends it a lot here. This makes sense. Being the teacher's pet, nerd-ass nigga he is, of course the star system benefits him. Like I said, he has the most stars of anyone, so if it were to be taken away, he would have the most to lose. He's fully institutionalized, and he's proud to admit it. The interesting thing though, is that he isn't really portrayed to be in the right here, quote unquote, as even Ms. Baker gets sick of his constant sucking up in this episode.
Clarence, he got an F on his paper. Okay, that's not an achievement.
Yeah, Buddy Stars are an achievement.
Okay, thank you, Jeff.
His constant arguing with Sumo also positions us to be against him here as well.
So I counted, and I have 23 Buddy Stars. That's the most in the whole class.
That's great, Jeff.
Don't be jealous, Sumo. It's just because I work a lot harder than everyone else.
I love Sumo, man. Anyways, now that the episode has set up the two opposing systems, let's see how Clarence, our very own revolutionary, takes over. Now, Clarence Dollars don't hit the ground running at first. When Clarence gives Nathan one after failing a test, we see that the dollars already have a more positive impact on one's morale. Though Ms. Baker does bring up a good point, that no one should be rewarded for doing poorly on a test. The episode doesn't focus too much on the school aspect, though I do find it interesting that later in the episode we see that Nathan has a natural talent for drawing.
Oh, if I could keep drawing all these Clarence Dollars, Clarence.
Wow, that's pretty good. You're good at drawing.
So I don't think it's too far-fetched to say that Nathan's connection to the Clarence Dollar, despite his failing grades, is some sort of commentary on the American education system. The whole Buddy Star system is tangentially related to the school system now that I think about it. Putting up a list of the best and worst behaved students in your class is weird, but something that I've actually seen similarly in schools before. The needless comparisons between other students, giving them the idea that they're better or worse than someone else. Not only is it problematic, but like I've said a million times with this show, it's realistic to the school experience. Jeff and Clarence have another conversation, which is basically used to solidify Jeff's position as the Buddy Star supporter. He low-key just hates on Clarence for no reason in this episode too. I'm not really fucking with him here.
Clarence, you have to stop all this Clarence Dollar nonsense.
Sorry, Jeff. Money talks.
What does that even mean?
It means I'm not going anywhere.
Anyways, Clarence decides to give up on his dream, but Sumo decides to take a gamble and starts trading the dollars for different things. They catch on quickly, and now everybody wants a Clarence dollar. Side note, Sumo would definitely be an anarchist. If you know, you know. We get this really neat montage showing us how much more positive the school environment has been since the dollars kicked off. People are happy, bullies turn into bitches, life is good. There's even some subtle foreshadowing to the eventual craze that would come because of the dollars. But for now, everything is good. We see the buddy star system is completely overthrown and the establishment is destroyed. The great thing about this episode is that we first see the positive side of the Clarence dollars, that being that its original intent was born from a place of wanting to help, as well as the positive effects it has on people. Because let's not even lie to ourselves, people love money. It's a nice thing to have, and generally I like being able to buy things to take the pain away, but capitalism isn't all that it's cracked out to be, as we all know. The phrase money is the root of all evil exists for a reason, and Clarence would soon realize this, as the Clarence dollar would eventually turn on him. Not without warning though, as he gets a borderline prophetic dream about this exact thing.
Belson?
I think I'll get a cheesecake stick.
No, no, no!
We get to the school the next day, and if you ever saw this red lighting effect on a cartoon in the 2010s, you knew some shit was about to go down. The whole school is completely broken down. People are scrapping for these dollars, eating buddy stars, chairs being thrown. I love how they use these random ass monkey noises in the scene right here. The show has a lot of random sound design choices, but I love it. This part of the episode really shows how obsessed people can become with money or anything that's deemed valuable in society, to the point where your desire for it trumps reason and your own morals, that you go crazy for something that at the end of the day isn't really life or death. The pursuit to have more money and more power is what leads to people doing heinous shit for it. And in this episode, despite it being a silly little kids cartoon, accurately portrayed that moral dilemma. So, in order to stop the craze of the dollars, Jeff suggested they make so many of them that they lose their value and people won't want them anymore. Deadass teaching 8-year-olds about inflation on the CN, bro. This is why I never understood why niggas don't like this show. Cause people love it when TTG does it, but Clarence is too weird, I guess. Yeah, alright. The plan works out perfectly. With the market flooded, no one wants any dollars because they already have so many. And just like that, Clarence loses his monopoly on the school.
How you feeling, big guy?
It's like I had the whole world on a leash. But then, it turned out to be one of those stupid invisible dog leashes. There's not even a real dog there.
Right.
It really makes you feel for the guy, cause all he really wanted to do was make people feel better. But he didn't account for the fact that people are gonna be people and take things too far. His heart was in the right place, but unfortunately capitalism just wasn't the move. If one thing's for sure though, it's that I really wish the show did the same concept but with communism. That would have been funny as fuck.